well. Sultan is not. As you can hear, his life is very difficult. He is just, I'm an awful parent, truly. So this week we are talking about how to create healthy writing habits because we all know that Nano does not really cultivate those most of the time. The problem with Nano, of course, being that a lot of people can't make 1,600 words a day, every single day, a sustainable habit for them. Because for some folks, they just don't meet that goal. And then that can lead to feelings of failure or other such things. So we're going to try and mitigate that by discussing what healthy writing habits look like and giving you some tips that the professionals use in order to get words on the page. We're going to talk about healthy writing habits and some tips you can use to get words on the page consistently and that will further your author career rather than necessarily a sprint to the finish line after which you are cratered. So let's just get into this, shall we? First off, you're going to work on creating a routine. This routine can be something like putting on a specific playlist of music. It can be something like doing a specific ritual before you get into the writing zone. It could be having a particular drink. It can be writing in a particular place or a specific time of day. Whatever that routine or ritual you're creating for yourself, it's going to kick your brain over into thinking, okay, now it's time to write. And creating those associations is actually a thing that works. That's why a lot of colleges will tell you to suck on a particular candy while you're studying and then eat that candy during the test, and it will help you remember the things you've studied. That is a legitimate psychological technique, and it is used frequently. So whether it's a candy, a drink, a specific playlist, a particular location, whatever it is that triggers your time to write, you're going to want to create some kind of association and make a little routine for yourself. And that will help your brain kick over. And this should be something repeatable, so don't do something gigantic. Please don't do it involving robes and the full moon. Or do, I guess, if that's the kind of writing you're doing, but you want to make sure that it's something you can do regularly because repeatability is really the key here. Second, you want to start creating reasonable expectations for yourself. Those expectations are going to look different for every single person. Most professional authors that I know generally shoot for about 1,000 words a day when they're in writing mode. That is about 2 pages in a Word document, or 3, depending on your font size. And it is a relatively sustainable method, and it's a relatively sustainable number. Now, for some people, that might be too many. You might be able to manage 50 words a day, or 100 words a day, and that's okay. You might find over time as you keep writing that word count grows more than you think it will. So you're going to find that that is going to change for you, but don't be despaired if it's very small to start with. Or if you find that word counts are daunting and you end up staring at a blank page for a long time and don't get anything done, give yourself a time limit. Write for 10 to 15 minutes a day. Write for 20 minutes a day. Whatever amount of time works for your life. That is what you are going to be shooting for. Those expectations you create for yourself can also change. If you start with, I'm going to write 1,000 words a day, and you're consistently not meeting that goal because life is not allowing you to, consider lowering it. Or consider thinking, okay, what is it that's getting in my way, and working around that, because unfortunately most of us have day jobs or children or lives in general that we really need to keep track of. We can't spend 6 or 8 hours a day writing. And honestly, most authors I know have about 4 hours when they're in the zone before they kind of burn out. Editors too, usually working for about 4 hours straight is enough, and our brains are saying, please, please stop. So that is, even people who do this for a living have about that time limit. So be gentle with yourself, and if you have to adjust your expectations, definitely do so. Third, do not compare yourself to others. Don't do it. Comparing yourself to others leads to this feeling that you're either better than or worse than somebody else, and that's not going to do you any good. I could compare myself to Neil Gaiman all day long, but I'm not Neil Gaiman. I'm not Brandon Sanderson. I'm not Garth Nix. And as wonderful as those people are, I'm not them. So just because Brandon Sanderson can write more words in a day than I probably do in a month doesn't mean that he's going to be more successful than I am. There are authors who are incredibly prolific, and there are authors like Harper Lee, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, who are not. But the quality of those words that Harper Lee produced is absolutely incredible. There's a reason we still read that book in schools. So don't judge yourself against somebody else's yardstick. It doesn't work, and it never will. Fourth, try other people's advice, but ultimately you're going to want to suss out what works best for you. Whether it's trying a particular kind of outlining, whether it's trying a particular kind of formatting, or using a specific technique to get yourself into the zone of writing, whatever that technique is, it's okay to try other people's thoughts, and there's a lot of them out there. Some of them conflict. But everybody's life is shaped a little differently, so when you're trying out other people's advice, recognize that it might not be designed for you, and that's completely okay. It's entirely okay that your life isn't structured the way theirs is. So keep trying things on until you find something that fits, and then stick with it. Remember, we're looking for repeatability, so we want something that you're going to be able to do on a regular basis, constantly, in order to produce words and accomplish your goals. That's it for this video. It's extremely short, but there are a couple things I wanted to let you know. So the ARC copies for Hot and Cold, my next novel, have gone out, and so far people are enjoying it, so far as I know. I hope. I'm really excited about it. Release is January 13th of next year, which is the date that I've chosen to just kind of regularly release books. Right now I'm doing once a year. I'm trying to get up to twice a year, but we'll see what happens. We're back to not everybody's pace is going to look the same. Mine is not going to look the same as a rapid release author's. It's just not. So we are going to have my novel coming out on January 13th, so that'll be book 2 in my Smoke and Magic series. I want to say happy 20 books to 50K to everyone who's going. I am insanely jealous, and I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to attend next year. If I can get a scholarship, that would be a lot of fun. And finally, I want to let folks know that I do have a writing Discord that I run. It's a group about 100 and something people. We hang out, we talk about things. I do relatively regular, though they're kind of dwindling, relatively regular weekly workshops where we get into particular topics and I teach lessons. It's about an hour long. And of course, then there is my newsletter. The links to these things are down below. My newsletter is twice a month. It will keep you up to date on what I'm doing with writing. It will give you a convenient place to find the videos I have posted all kind of together, along with my blogs, and usually a couple relevant or irrelevant TikTok videos, and also help you keep up to date with what I've released and when. So I hope you have a great day, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you very soon.